Here's how I took this old table I thrifted and turned it into this fluted dining table. Here's my inspo board. You can see the retail is super expensive. So I started by stripping the table. Honestly, this part is so satisfying. I could do this all day. And then I sanded the tabletop and unscrewed it from the legs. I picked up some wooden chopping boards and some pine lengths to create the pillared legs. So you can see I've got a chopping board on the top and bottom, and then I've just screwed in some pine in between. Then I applied some wood glue to the top, flipped it over, and used lots of screws to attach it to the table. This is really stable, but if you were using a bigger tabletop, you might put some weights inside those pillars. I used quarter dowel pine pieces to get the fluted effect. I worked out the exact length I needed for each piece of dowel, and then I drilled these blocks onto my workbench and pushed the dowel against that block so that each piece was the exact same length. This saved me so much time. Then I used my nail gun to attach those pieces all the way around the legs. There are a few unavoidable gaps between the pieces, so I filled them with wood putty. I only meant to fill a few, but then I did the whole lot, and I caused myself a whole lot of extra work because then I had to sand it all back, and there was still a few hairline cracks. So I caulked those spots. I probably could have caulked the entire thing from the beginning, but I was worried that it would stand out against the really light lime wash. Anyway, here I am lime washing the table. All you do is paint it on, wait a few minutes, and then wipe it off with an old rag. And I repeated that process with the pillared legs as well. Then to finish, I just used some of my favorite furniture wax. You could use a polycoat if you prefer. Wax is just my favorite. And here it is. I added my chairs, but then I wasn't sure if I wanted it as a dining table, so I moved it up to my studio and set it up as a desk. And I kind of like it as my desk. And I really love how you can still see the wood grain through the lime wash. Stick around to see what I did with the table legs.